Good morning. This is Giovanni Gallucci, joined by Chloe Dawn and Rachel Donovan, and this is the Daily Trend Report.
Morning, Giovanni.
Morning, all.
Friday before Memorial Day. AAA is calling for 45 million Americans on the road this weekend. Anybody pretending they're going to get real work done after lunch is lying.
I left a coffee mug on the FJ60 tailgate yesterday, just looking at it. Already mentally somewhere on a forest road.
I'm sitting in Foxtrot Market right now with an iced coffee and a notebook, and the whole place feels like it's already half checked out.
That's the energy, exactly. Chloe, you riding the scooter this weekend or pulling the Mustang out?
Mustang. It's a Memorial Day. Brick red, top down, Highland Park to Bishop Arts. That's the assignment.
I'm driving the RAV4 down to a small town diner in Glen Rose, and then probably nothing for 2 days.
That's a plan. All right, here's the map for this morning. 3 sections today. First, clean label food and beverage. Second, the outdoor lane. And third, content, social, and AI. Let's get into it.
The prebiotic soda lane just stopped being a category. That's the headline.
Strong open. Walk me through it.
18 months ago, this was Olipop and Poppy and a couple of indie cans on a Whole Foods end cap. This quarter, PepsiCo paid roughly $2 billion for Poppy. Coca-Cola is shipping Simply Pop. Jarritos rolled out Sana Sana. Pepsi launched its own prebiotic cola in February. And Aldi has private label dupes on the shelf at $1.59 a can.
That's a 6-way knife fight in a category that didn't exist 5 years ago.
And Olipop just walked into Costco. 15-can variety pack, $19.99.
What does that pencil out to per can?
Roughly $1.33. That's national soda economics, not an indie wellness label.
Which is the part that should make every indie founder in the lane sit up straight. The price ceiling cracked, the shelf got crowded, and the "we have prebiotic fiber" pitch is no longer a position. It's a footnote.
Chloe, walk me through what's left for the smaller brands. Because the easy take is, they're cooked. I don't actually believe that's true.
They're not cooked, but the moat moved. The label was the entry ticket. It was never the moat.
So what's left?
3 places. First, real flavor. Most prebiotic soda still tastes like a B vitamin in a can. The category is one good grapefruit tamarind launch away from getting upended.
That tracks. The flavor systems are all chasing one another.
Second, a real founder who shows up daily. Not a launch week press tour. A series. PepsiCo cannot replicate that.
That's the part their marketing teams structurally can't do.
Third, regional sourcing printed on the label. Texas native ginger, Sonoran wildflower honey, a specific farm name. Big soda ships at billion-can scale. They cannot honestly source like that.
The supply chain piece matters even more this year. Food Navigator just ran a piece on viral ingredient whiplash. Tallow, beef liver, sea moss, lion's mane. The minute something goes viral, the supply chain breaks. Smaller brands that name their primary and backup supplier in public are doing the trust-building big soda can't.
And there's a class action layer to all of this that nobody's pricing in. Poppy already paid $8.9 million to settle a digestive claims suit. Olipop is fighting one. The day your fiber count doesn't match your marketing copy, a law firm is going to notice.
Calibrate the claims to the dosage. That's the rule. If the science doesn't back the language has to change.
The other thread worth pulling. Seed oil-free conversations are up 1,600% year over year. Rightfield's tracking it. That's not a fringe wellness blog signal anymore. Snack brands at Expo West were reformulating to avocado oil and beef tallow in public.
And the smart ones aren't picking the political fight. They're just leading with the new ingredient. Cedars was the cleanest example I saw. Premium ingredient language, not anti-seed oil framing.
Lead with what's in. Don't relitigate what's out. Heritage fats are now a marketing asset. Cane sugar is back on labels. Ghee, tallow, olive oil. The decade we spent running from those is over.
One more piece. GLP-1 households are now roughly 12% of U.S. adults per Gallup. They're eating less by volume and reading every label. The protein per calorie math is what wins them. A 20-gram protein bar at 280 calories loses to a 12-gram bite at 110 every time.
Beyond Meat's Beyond Immerse fits right there. Sparkling protein drink, pea protein, electrolytes, zero sugar alcohols, 4 flavors. That's not us, but better. That's a format that didn't exist 18 months ago.
The format expansion play is the move for indie brands right now. Not another cola. The adjacent thing Pepsi hasn't figured out yet. Cognitive drinks, better mixers. Coconut-based creamers like Malk just shipped.
And the shelf strategy follows that. The middle aisle grocery end cap was the bridge that built the category. It is now the trap. PepsiCo can buy any end cap they want. Food service, specialty grocers, coffee shops, subscription. That's where indie brands hold ground.
Okay, 3 things you can actually do today from this one. 1. Pull gut health out of your top of fold. Move it to the footer. Lead with the flavor and the source.
2. Make the founder a daily content channel. Not a campaign, a recurring on-record voice with a point of view PepsiCo can't fake.
3. Name the supplier on the back panel. Specific farm, specific region, specific person if you can. The non-UPF certification wave makes named sourcing the next moat. Overland Expo West wrapped this past weekend in Flagstaff. 420 exhibitors, 132 instructors.
What was the headline build?
The 2026 Ultimate Vehicle Build. A Nissan Frontier Pro 4X. Not a Wrangler, not a Land Cruiser, not a Power Wagon. A mid-sized truck most people can actually afford.
That choice tells the whole story. The industry just quietly admitted that 5 years of $150,000 builds priced out the people who actually buy gear.
What was on the Frontier specifically?
Tune Outdoor M1L hard-sided pop-up camper. Aluminum canopy, modular roof rack, power station. The whole thing designed to be tailored and broken down into upgradable subsystems.
Not sold as a turnkey 6-figure rig.
Right. The framing was, what would you add first? Not, what would you finance? That's a different customer entirely.
And that lines up with the Toyota numbers in a way nobody's talking about. The 4Runner did 33,244 units in Q1 alone. That's a 294% year-over-year jump.
In 1 quarter. That's not niche.
And Toyota is now selling a $12,452 Overlook Overlanding accessory package right off the showroom floor. A major OEM treating overlanding as a factory option is new behavior.
The persona just doubled. The build channel veteran is still there. But sitting next to them now is a 35-year-old parent who paid sticker on a stock trail hunter, has never installed a winch, and wants to take their family camping every other weekend.
So who's the customer outdoor brands should be writing for?
Both. But the new buyer is the growth.
What are they asking that the old buyer wasn't?
Different questions entirely. Will this fit in my Crosstrek? Will I be able to set it up alone? Will it survive a season getting thrown in and out of a trunk? Will I be able to repair it? None of those questions were on the brand briefs 5 years ago.
Leitner's new GearPod HD answered that question correctly. They killed the interior lip on the cargo system, recovered 20% of usable storage, replaced the multi-latch closure with one dust-proof external latch. That's a product designed for a person who packs and unpacks on weekends, not a person who lives out of the rig for 6 months.
And the wave of SUV camping content is the same signal. Sleeping in the back of a stock Lexus GX, a 4Runner, a minivan with Plano bins and a $300 awning. Search velocity on SUV sleep platform and Lexus GX overlanding is climbing against the legacy $200,000 overland build searches.
The Crocs are back. The bandanas are back. Film cameras are back. The Trek had a piece on it last week. The aesthetic is moving the opposite direction of ultralight tech. Patagonia's biggest launch this month, the Houdini Rock Jacket, is selling on durability instead of weight savings. Read that twice.
The audience is buying presents, not escape. That's the whole thing.
And Memorial Day is the proof. 45 million people on the road this weekend. The retrospect data is wild. 88% of Americans say a 1-hour outdoor break leaves them feeling proud. 72% point to walks or easy hikes as the doable option. That's not a glamping audience. That's a generation that grew up in front of screens deciding the cure is a bad campfire and a paper map.
For Gen Z specifically, 30% say a friend is the single biggest reason they actually leave the house. Solitude isn't the trigger. A shared coffee at a trailhead 12 minutes from a Target parking lot is.
That's the most underrated stat in the deck. Brands have spent 15 years selling solitude. The actual driver is show up with someone.
One more piece while we're here. The BLM Public Lands Access Rule got rescinded earlier this month. Tens of millions of acres reopened for citizen access. That's a clean win for everybody who actually uses the land. The outdoor land should be celebrating it, not hedging.
Agreed. Access is the whole point. When citizens get more of it, that's the headline.
Okay, here's what to actually do with all of that. 1. Pull your best-selling SKU and shoot it being packed into a Subaru Outback, a Honda Passport, and a Ford Maverick by one person in their own driveway in under 2 minutes each.
2. Build a content series around the second trip, not the first trip. The first trip is the dealership photo. The second trip is when reality hits and the buyer needs a chair that doesn't blow over and a fire pit that doesn't get them fined on public land.
3. Sponsor a cleanup drop. Sedona, Moab, Alabama Hills. Let creators document the work. Conservation receipts beat sponsor logos every time, and the dispersed camping saturation backlash is real.
The pattern across every platform this week is loud, and it's the same pattern. Platforms are punishing generic and rewarding specific.
Pull the receipts.
LinkedIn confirmed they're throttling content that reads as AI generated. Instagram cut repost accounts out of Explore as of May 1st and rolled out an originality scoring layer. TikTok is requiring roughly a 70% completion rate to push beyond your existing followers.
All in the same window.
Every platform leveled up the same week. That's not coincidence. That's a coordinated retraining of what gets distribution.
The "it's not X, it's Y" pattern is now a reach problem on LinkedIn. They explicitly named it.
If you're outsourcing posts to ChatGPT and a templating tool, your reach has been quietly degrading for 6 months, and your dashboard hasn't told you the real reason.
That's the part that should make every operator pull a sample of their last 30 posts this afternoon. Look at the reach to engagement ratio week over week. If it's bending, you're already inside the throttle. The decline isn't a cliff, it's a slow drift.
And the brand pages are structurally disadvantaged versus named humans now. Founder voice, head of product voice, named expert voice. That's where the reach lives. The brand handle alone is dead weight.
The Instagram repost crackdown is the same pattern. You can't crop a meme, slap a logo in the corner, and call it original. Photos and carousels are both covered now. The 30-day appeal window opened May 1st, so brands that move now will be back in Explore by mid-June. Brands that don't will be quietly invisible.
And the cleanest piece of math in the whole deck is that original carousels now hit 1.92% engagement against Reels at 0.5, almost 4 to 1. The same week Instagram cracked down on recycled posting, the platform made original carousels the most valuable real estate in the app. Not subtle.
DM shares are weighted 3 to 5 times higher than likes. That's the other thing operators are not adjusting for.
Run the numbers.
A post with 10,000 likes and 0 forwards is officially less valuable than a post with 800 likes and 200 DMs. People don't forward brand commercials. They forward useful, relatable, or laugh-worthy. The brief just changed to, "Would my audience send this to one person?"
That's a different writing exercise. Comments are nice. Forwards are reach. The Hallelujah audio format on Reels is the cleanest example of what works inside this new math.
Justin Bieber's Coachella set?
Right. He stretched a deep cut into an extended outro. The audio went brand-friendly, and the mechanic forces specificity. 5 to 8 items, each one capped with the word Hallelujah. Visit Austin ran it clean. Live music capital of the world, Hallelujah. Michelin-starred barbecue, Hallelujah. No script, no actor, Just facts that already sell the city.
The beat hits every 2 seconds, so you can't hide behind adjectives. Premium, trusted, innovative. None of those land. You have to deliver a concrete noun or the video collapses. Brands that have been struggling to write about themselves discover, in the process of making one of these, what they actually do.
And the series format is the other half of this. Sprout Social's data has serialized accounts pulling 67% higher follower retention than one-off posts. 57% of users surveyed in 2026 explicitly said they want brands to post original content series. Not more campaigns, series.
One named host, one recurring question, one publish day, 20 episodes minimum before you read the data.
Why 20?
Under 10, the algorithm has no read. Most brand series die at episode 6 because the team measures too early and panics.
And write the cliffhanger first. If you can't summarize the open loop into the next episode in one sentence, the format isn't earning the return click. Cut the episode and rebuild it.
One more piece that surprised me. Threads passed X in daily mobile active users this year. 141.5 million against 125 million. Threads engagement is running about 70% above X. Conversational and reply-based content gets favored by the algorithm.
If you wrote Threads off as a Twitter clone in 2024, the math just flipped. 2 posts a day. POV statements, replies to industry voices, short observations. Stop reposting your X feed verbatim, and you'll see numbers most brands aren't seeing.
Here are 3 things from this one. 1. Audit your last 30 LinkedIn posts. Cut anything that could have been written by 40 other accounts in your space. Replace it with named human voice this week.
2. Build one original carousel a week. 8 to 12 slides, designed for saves and DMs. Treat the first slide like a magazine cover, not a thumbnail.
3. Pick a series. 1 host, 1 question, 1 publish day. Commit to 20 episodes before you measure anything. The series is the asset. The single post never was. One quick thing before we close out. This is what gallucci.net does for a living. I build AI-powered content pipelines for outdoor lifestyle brands and clean label food and beverage brands. Named series. Founder voice on a real cadence. Carousels, reels, long-form video, the whole stack. Designed around the platforms actually rewarding what they're rewarding this quarter, not what they were rewarding 2 years ago.
This whole episode came out of that pipeline. 5 trend reports in by 3 a.m. A script by 5.
Co-host rendered. Cover art embedded. Show notes written.
The whole thing on Spotify and Apple by breakfast.
And it's the same pipeline we build for client brands. Aturo Tires, Casa de Mexico, Let's Go Boating, the rest. The mechanics don't change. The voice does.
If you're a brand operator and your social calendar still looks like 2022, that's the problem to fix this quarter. Find me at gallucci.net or DM at gallucci.net on Instagram or LinkedIn. Have a good Memorial Day weekend, get outside, and we'll talk Tuesday.
Talk Tuesday.
See y'all on the road.